I first born in Wolverhampton, and then I moved to Dudley in a place called Lower Gornal, and it's majority Wolves fans down there. Being in work, a lot of people are from, here, there and everywhere, supporting Man United. No one can ever tell me I'm in the wrong for supporting my local team. I'm from Wolves, and yeah, Wolves is the team.
I was born in Macclesfield, Cheshire. The family moved to Albrighton in 1939-40, outbreak of war, and my father worked on the 9MU, as it was called then, with the Spitfires and Hurricanes. A friend of mine was an avid Wolves fan, and he used to go every Saturday. I realised then, there was something to be said to going to watch the Wolves football, so I went to nearly every home game, I should think. And I remember players, Billy Wright, Bert Williams, Jesse Pye, Johnny Hancock's. The last big matches I remember seeing were the Honved Spartak, the evening games. They were brilliant.
I've always been a Wolves supporter, my family tell me. I joined the army in October 1986, and prior to joining the army I was never able to come and watch a Wolves match because my family didn't have the money to be able to afford it. So on my first leave, Christmas leave, I had enough money to be able to pay for a ticket to be able to watch Wolves play against Southend, which we lost. But I was over the moon to be able to come and watch them play live, which was a brilliant Christmas present for me. I think everybody should have something in their lives that they enjoy and is their escape from normal everyday life. And the military is quite a hard job to do day in, day out, and very demanding both physically and mentally. And we experience lots of things. So being able to come and watch Wolves play is an opportunity to be able to chill out, relax, and just enjoy the spectacular football that's going on in front of us. It's not always been like that over the years, but over the last few years, it's been a dream.
When I was 16, 17, I started gliding at weekends here at Cosford, and then I became an instructor here, and I was called up into the Grenadier Guards. I didn't want to go into the Army, I wanted to go in the RAF, obviously, with my association with aeroplanes and airfields, but in those days you had no option. You were called up, you went.
I thought, I joined the Army if I got nothing else, and that was that back then, 16, 17, that was a bad way of looking at the Army, thinking as a last resort, but it proved me wrong. I was speaking to a gentleman this morning, and so I mentioned that I was in the Army straight away. It's like you both know what you're talking about as such, and intrigued. Oh, so where have you been? And straight away, without them noticing, they're talking about their family and friends and what they've done in national service. I think it's great. I haven't seen it myself, so I've been quite fortunate. But there's people out there that have, unfortunately, have seen the sacrifice that people have made. But then the mentality is, they just carry on and you carry on doing day-to-day business.
You're around death quite a lot in the military. I served on my first tour of Northern Ireland when I was 18. We deployed on the streets with 100 people patrolling. We lost 2 and had 22 seriously injured. So it was quite a sort of an eye-opening tour, and for a young 18-year-old was quite a shock because there was lots of things happening out there. I did the first Gulf War. I've done Afghanistan on 3 occasions. I've done Iraq on 2 occasions, Bosnia, Cyprus, Kosovo, peace touring campaigns. So I've been heavily involved in a lot of operational tours. I would say on each and every one of them, I've come back with a sense of reward.
A couple of conflicts was in Cyprus, West Africa, Germany, Sweden, Denmark. In West Africa, we were ambushed going to a terrorist camp, and the guy 2 from me was shot straight to the throat. Didn't get up again. He'd only been married 3 weeks, and we had to carry him back. We saw some horrendous things in Germany. Accidents on the range, guys were killed with grenades going off. Fact of life.
The nice thing about sort of the Remembrance and Armistice Day is the fact that everybody remembers what happened. I mean, we use the military as the vehicle to remember Remembrance Day and Armistice Day, but actually nowadays it's not just about the military.
It's amazing that actually keeping a place like this quiet for 2 minutes, that's a massive thing in itself. 36,000 stadium, actually thinking about people being in the Army. I know we're thinking about World War I, World War II, but you got to think about now. We're here because we need to be here.
It means a lot. I mean, it's respect, isn't it? It's respect, and I think we should respect everybody for their own opinion and what they think. But I think it should never be forgotten. Let's put it that way. And I think the more people respect it, the better. I mean, they gave, for our today, they gave their yesterday, didn't they? We wouldn't be walking free now if it weren't for those guys at First and Second World War. We wouldn't be walking the streets like we do now.
It makes me so proud, the fact that people respect what people have done in order to allow them to be here, you know, in pure security, you know, with the ability to be able to watch a match, with the freedom of movement that we have. It's an amazing feeling, and that 2-minute silence when people just remember. People from military backgrounds and from civilian backgrounds have been caught up in wars and conflicts, and it is great to see the fact that we do pay so much respect.